Alright, here we go. Alright, this is the very first game of the very first 4-player Offworld tournament. And we see on our map here, we've got tons of water. Tons of water. However, there's very little aluminum. There are 2 high sources of aluminum. There's a reasonable amount of iron, but only 1 high iron. And there's plenty of carbon around, but it's all low. So that's very interesting. Also, only 1, wow, is that basically 1 clump of silicon, although there are a couple random. So there's going to be some serious shortages in this game. There's not a lot of aluminum, not a lot of silicon. So, yeah, and there's really, okay, so PB he found first, he grabs, what does he grab? He grabs the high iron. It was the only high iron in the map, so I could see why he found it early. He found it at 26,000 det. Tozar drops down nearby him near the medium iron, which I think is also the only medium iron on the map. Everything else is low at this point, so I would expect to see at least a scavenger come out from somewhere. Red Sparrow drops down as expansive. He's by a big clump of water, but again, there's water all over the place. But then there is the question of aluminum. Sparrow could have gotten that high aluminum that Tozar was heading for, but instead he goes for the other high aluminum, which means PB Head looks like he's just passing up on aluminum entirely. Nope, he grabbed one of the medium. So there's one more medium aluminum on the map. I assume that 7 is going to grab it, and he is. He has his guy on the way there now. I'm sure PB Head would love to get the other medium aluminum, but he didn't do that, even though of course he has fully upgraded. Might have been a good idea for him to grab both medium aluminums instead and skip one of those steel mills. But we'll just have to see how that plays out. Tozar has hit level 2, of course, both robotic. They're going up really fast. The wildcard here is perhaps 7, Asimov, who's playing as Scavenger, and he's going to get some reasonable adjacency on carbon, although not great. No triangles. I don't think there's any carbon triangles on this map. So that's kind of rough. So we've got a geothermal auction come up right off the bat. Not much of a surprise. This should probably go for, I would guess, at least 20,000. I think you can be a little more loose with debt in a 4-player game, because you're not necessarily going to get bought out too early. But we shall see. All right, we're already hit the 20,000 mark. Okay, PB Head pushes to 24,000, and all right. Oops, I better turn on the audio. Let me know if this audio is too loud for everybody. Oops, let me resume the game.
Expansive colony expanded.
Turn it down for myself. Let me know if the audio is mixed too loud in the mix. All right, so everyone is level 2, and I would expect to see PB Head hit level 3 pretty soon. Although he didn't. That's interesting. Did he? Oh, of course he's built. He instead must be choosing to build the geotherm, I guess. But I don't see a geotherm out there yet. It's interesting. Where did all his resources go? Well, he's ready to upgrade. He just hasn't hit the button yet. See, Tozar is he close behind him? He's got everything he needs except for the electronics. PB had presumably pre-bought the electronics, where Tozar decided to sell it all off. So that's a big difference. PB Head has, instead, he's now level 3, so he's grabbing a high water. Figures he's going to want it eventually, and he's now going over for that high silicon. I'm surprised the high silicon lasted as long as it did. I would have, maybe if I hit level 2, especially maybe as Herbert, Red Sparrow is expansive, maybe use your extra claim to grab that high silicon, because again, it's the only one on the map. So PB Head is in an awesome spot right now. He's hit level 3 first. He's got the only high silicon. He only has medium aluminum, but he also has the only high iron on the map. He gets hit by an EMP. He has 1 steel mill protected, but the other ones are not. So that makes it for an effective strike. I wonder who hit him with it. Well, it's the person who hit him also hit Tozar, so I'm guessing it's probably either Red Sparrow or 7. I would guess. Well, it's hard to say. Actually, I could find out if I take a look at the. Oh, you can't tell in 4-player because the same price goes up for everybody. Alright, so is the geotherm up yet? Looks like it's almost done. It'd be interesting to see if someone tries to mutiny it, especially with the price of energy at 165, and mutiny is only 2,000. I'm pretty sure everyone could afford it, basically. But and PB Head, if I'm correct, does not. Nope. He does have a goon squatted. So people might be tempted to hit that with mutiny, but it would be a bad move. All right, plot auction on the high water. There's tons of high water on this map, but it is a tile that pretty much everyone is going to want. Although it looks like is anyone missing high water so far? Yeah, it looks like everyone actually has a high water source. So, everyone has a high water, so it'll be tough to say exactly how high they want to push this. I think this might stop around 20,000. And Tozar gets it for 16,000. That's not a bad price. Tozar is deciding to drop down some solar panels that gives bonuses for his metal mines and steel mills. So he's going to have a well-boosted steel mill, but 2 steel mills compared to PB Head's 4. That's a big difference. So the question is, will he be able to make enough from the solar panels to make up for it? Red Sparrow's dropping down a couple more. Wow, he's going into 3 water pumps. That is a lot, especially with the price of water at 11. I don't like that move. That's probably not going to work out too well for him. So for PB Head, the question is he just going to be able to upgrade soon? He's already pre-bought the right amount of electronics. He's basically just waiting for his steel to build up. Let's compare it with Tozar. Tozar is also waiting for his steel, but does not have the electronics. Basically, everyone's just kind of a step behind PB, which is not too much of a surprise. Red Sparrow does not have his glass. He finally grabs the his first other silicon, but PB Head just hit level 4. Hit level 4 immediately drops down 3 farms. Because look at that difference in price between food and water. You got $120 food and $4 water. That's a pretty huge difference.
The black market is online.
Oh, I didn't notice there's a geotherm down at the bottom of the map, which PB has mutinied away from 7. So 7 should have made sure that spot was good squatted, especially with the price of power where it is. So PB Head's making a solid about $200 a second off of power, starting to drop down his debt. He's in a commanding position right now. Now is the time when each of the other players needs to basically invest in something from the black market to pull BB Head back to the pack. Power surges are 2,000, would be a great use of them on his farms. What else would be a good idea? Someone could use. Someone could start to pirate his silicon, perhaps. Let's see. Tozar has gotten into electronics. Oh man, all of his buildings are off. Why is his electronics off? That doesn't make much sense. Of note, there is the network virus available, which is a very interesting. So there was a power surge dropped on the farms, but after I brought that up, PB had dropped down a goon squad, which basically prevented the power surge from it only hit one tile. So PB Head's in a very good spot. Tozar really needs to turn that electronics factory on. As well as the steel mills. I don't know why he has all those buildings off. Is he hoping for power? I guess he's afraid of losing too much. I guess he's already okay. He turned them back on, and now he's losing $250 a second on power. I don't know if he was trying to turn them on because it was nighttime. I mean, that's possible since he's got the solar power. But he doesn't really have that much debt, so he shouldn't have been afraid to just let it roll. And PB Head's already at level 5. Level 5 just dropped down a diamond of reactors, which are making about $100. So it's going to be making a lot more once they're all up at whoa. Those reactors are amazing. The best ones are making over 200 a second, doing much better than those farms, which is fine. PB Head may not have enough water. He definitely doesn't have enough water to support that, but he sees that there's just a lot of water on this map, and a lot of other people have gotten into water heavily, so he's just counting on the fact that the price is going to stay low, and it's not really going to matter. So we do see a network virus comes down. That basically locks Tozar into steel production. I wonder who hit him with that. I don't think. I mean, maybe PB Head did just to prevent him from basically going into something besides steel. Hard to say. Okay, looking around elsewhere on the map, 7 also has some reactors and farms up. Reactors are obviously a great place to be right now. Red Sparrow has reactors up. He also has some empty tiles. It looks like he's trying to build some glass furnaces. It's surprised it's taken this long to see the first glass furnaces show up on the map. Although with True Robotic, I guess it's not totally surprising, but he should make a pretty good killing off of those glass furnaces. Yeah, they're making 170 a second. Question is, why does he have 3 empty tiles? Alright, there we go. We're going to put some more steel back up. Very unusual as an expansive to ever see them without steel, especially considering that the price of steel is still pretty solid. But PB Heads, he's at level 5, and the question is he going to move into an off-world soon? Glass and electronics are both $234, which means that you got to get at least, you got to spend about $48,000 on glass electronics to get an off-world market up. He does have $42,000, but he also doesn't have any steel, so he's a long way from, he's 100K away from building that off-world market. Not that anyone else is even, you know, in the neighborhood, considering that no one else is even at level 5. Interesting move in that you see a patent office come up for BB Head. A little late for a patent office. If there's, I'm trying to think through what he might be using it for. Thinking machine. Oh, it's carbon scrubbing. Oh yeah, that's a good move.
Colony expanded.
He's going for carbon scrubbing right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see thinking machines come out pretty soon. To me, those would be probably the big ones. He might nab up something like financial instruments and perpetual motion afterwards, and he's able to pick that up. Superconductor might be nice too. There's a bunch of, I mean, if you're the only guy with a patent lab, there's a whole lot of stuff you can do. It could also just simply be a placeholder for eventually where he's going to put his off-world market. PBED's picking up carbon scrubbing, which is a great tech to get, great patent to get right before building some electronics factories, because electronics is made mostly from carbon. So once you get carbon scrubbing, it's basically like electronics are half free. Like right now, electronics are basically fairly profitable, but if you can skip the carbon, then it's hugely valuable. Alright, so I see the stock game is starting to pick up here. Red Sparrow has already picked up half of his stock, which is he was able to pull off because he's riding that D rating. So he could potentially be in trouble. We might end up seeing a death spiral going on here. He's losing a lot to power. Where's his power? Does he have no power? Where's Red Sparrow's power? Red Sparrow has elected to build no power this game. That may not be a wise move. Interesting enough, Tozar is actually out of debt. So he's actually making money from a pretty decent amount, a decent clip coming from his power. So he's trying to pull off the power move, making 150 a second. He needs that price of power to be higher, but Red Sparrow is definitely helping him out by not building any power of his own. So the question is, what is Tozar going to do with that money? You see, he's bought some stock in PB Head and some stock in Red Sparrow. I would think basically Tozar should start buying as much. There's 2 extra shares left. Excuse me. There's 2 outstanding shares of Red Sparrow. Tozar should put his money into that, in my opinion. Okay, we see a lot of electronics factories coming down from Tozar. Boy, he could really use that carbon scrubbing. Let's see what PB Head is up to. He has gotten carbon scrubbing and nanotech. Nanotech obviously is a great one to get. Probably as soon as he got nanotech, he probably then deleted his reactors and then used the steel that was freed up from that to build. We don't know yet. There's those camp labs. I'm seeing, you can see it sort of frozen coming out of the colony. By the way, in Beta 7, we've changed something just very recently where if you go to build something in a tile connected to your colony, nothing actually comes out of, nothing actually flies out of your colony, it just appears magically like in that tile, which sort of speeds things up a little bit. Yep, Thinking Machines is the next tech to come out for PB Head, and he did switch into Chem Labs, which are making going to be making 100 a second for him, and yeah, EMP right away. All right, that's a good move. I like that move. By whoever's trying to pull PB Head back. So interesting enough, everyone has caught up to PB Head in size before he's able to get an off-world market up. And he's still a pretty decent distance away from it. He still needs another 30,000-40,000 some in cash to get there. Big EMP hit on Tozar. As you can see, Tozar got a little addicted to putting everything next to those solar plants, as opposed to putting maybe half of his buildings on one side of his HQ and half on the other, because that is really susceptible to EMPs. He should have at least 2 goon squads down, considering how clumped together all those buildings are. You see what PB did? He actually spread out his buildings much better than Tozar did. What's going on over here? Red Sparrow is doubling down on the glass, which is not really a great place to be right now because silicon's worth so much. He does have 2 silicon quarries, so that's doing fine. And he finally got into power. He is still, however, he's got over 200,000 debt. He is, however, the only player, interesting enough, with an engineering lab. So that's interesting. He's upgrading his glass, he's upgrading his power, he's upgrading his food. Those all seem fine, except for the fact that he has no farms. He's actually, well, he's obviously is about to transition into food, considering that he has 2 food techs queued up. I assume he's got plenty of glass, so he should be able to build those farms pretty easily. What's 7 up to? He's switching to electronics too. I suppose everyone sees that electronics is the most expensive thing needed for an off-world, so you know, let's start building some electronics. What about? Interesting, holograms are on the market, but I haven't seen anything hologrammed yet. PB has got superconductors, he's got carbon storing, nanotech, thinking machines. Those are all very good. Power is going to be basically dead now, probably for the rest of the game, especially with the superconductor out. PB Head and Herbert both control half their stock, but PB Head and Red Sparrow both control half their stock. Red Sparrow is, of course, in a much more vulnerable position, considering he has D debt. I mean, look at that. Look at that difference in stock price, $26 versus $10. Someone could really make a run at Red Sparrow right now. A buyout is only going to cost you $200,000, and for Tozar, it's probably only going to be about $150,000. I'm not sure how Tozar is going to get to $150,000, however, if he decides to go for an off-world market. We'll see. He's building a hacker array. That's pretty interesting. I would like to see, if he does that, I would like to see that hologrammed. You definitely want to people not to anticipate that you're going to hack array. What would he be hacking? Steel, I guess. He's making a ton of steel. Let's see what he decides to do with it. Hacker array is ready, and still hasn't done anything with it. We're still waiting. I mean, okay, and PB Head in the meantime has built the first off-world market, which means that things were getting a little interesting here for a while when everything was level 5, but now PB Head again has a significant lead, having the only off-world market up. It is good squatted. He's not even bothering to put a hologram on, which I disagree with. In fact, he has a hologram in his back pocket. It seems like a reasonable idea just to throw it down. Ooh, look at that pleasure dome. I assume he picked up virtual reality before. Yeah, he picked up virtual reality before deleting his patent lab, which he again got a full refund on because he has nanotech. So that pleasure dome is going to be pulling in $550 a second. That is a lot. That's, you know, comparable to actually what you'll make with an off-world market, because it's the only pleasure dome on the map, and he's also fairly close to the colony.
Offworld shipment launched.
If you look around the map, 7. So he's just making way too much water. He's dedicated 3 tiles to water. Oh wait, is that a real? Wow, look at that. 7 got an off-world market up. That's not bad at all. It's hologram. Does PB Head have any idea? PBM sees an engineering lab. Interesting to know if he's anticipated that that's actually an off-world market. He has bought a share in 7, which is a good idea. We do have Destroy Buyout on, so
we're not surprised.
Buying out a player with an off-world market is not going to actually get you an off-world market. Clark got hit by network virus. Interesting. I wonder if that was just trying to clear. Probably someone was just trying to clear that goon squad. Wow, look at that. Well, we know he's hacking now. Tozar is going full into iron. I guess maybe he realizes he's one of the only players with a significant source of iron. PB Head can shift iron if he wants to, but I assume we're going to see an iron short. No, he's doing a steel short. I don't know what the deal is with that. He should be doing an iron short. He's sitting on 300 steel. PB Head has no steel, so I mean, I guess that's fine. And PB Head is not building any steel, so I mean, it does sort of make sense. But gets hit by Sit by a power surge. These electronics factories, they're just not making enough money. Each of them is making about 30 bucks a second. But we are also getting at the phase of the game where the Offworld prices are just not awesome. You either have to be pulling a short, or you need to be going Offworld. Looks like PB bought up 100 steel, maybe anticipating the steel shortage, which is happening now. Price of steel is going up. PB immediately sells off his 100 steel. Interestingly enough, 7 actually has 2 Offworld markets up. Just that full commitment to electronics has paid off, I guess.
Let this be a lesson to you all. Screw with us.
PB may not realize that 7 has.
Trying to break ours.
I mean, if you look at 7, you can't tell he has any Offworld markets because he's he's used those holograms. You can sort of sense that he's got 2 engineering labs up, which seems excessive, but PB. What can you say? PB's has got 1 Offworld market up, and 7 has 2. They're both shipping. One's shipping oxygen, the other 6 shipping food. Let's see those prices. Oxygen and food. Oxygen is much better, but the price of oxygen on Offworld is higher. So I would like to see them both in oxygen, but whatever. I mean, he's got 2 Offworld markets up. Red Sparrow finally has an Offworld market up. Oh, and you can see now 7 has. 7 is on his way to. Well, okay. So, but here's the issue. 7 has gotten those 2 Offworld markets up, but the price is he only controls half his stock. PB Head controls the other half. That puts PB Head in a dominant position, even with the difference in Offworlds. Because PB Head will eventually get another Offworld market up. Although it is interesting because he doesn't necessarily realize the threat that Asimov is. He may not realize how close Asimov is to buying out Red Sparrow. He is. If you look at Red Sparrow, for example, Asimov is ahead of PB Head in the race to buy him out. So. Asimov might easily be able to pick up Red Sparrow. I mean, Red Sparrow is just sort of waiting to get bought. That his start price is just way too low. He's spiraled into debt. He's got 270,000 debt, and it's only going to get worse. So I would expect to see. I would expect to see 7 buy Red Sparrow at some point. It's taking a while. I'm not sure what's slowing him down. Okay, he's shipping both oxygen at this point. PB Head got that second Offworld up? No, he hasn't. He's just choosing. Did he get mutinied? It looks like he had mutiny back his Offworld market. No surprise. I mean, he is getting slowed down. I'm sure that people are targeting him.
Compromised the trading servers.
I'm sure Tozar and 7 are doing what they can to try to slow PB Head down. But that huge advantage PB Head has in owning half of 7 stock is going to be difficult to overcome.
Look at all the money.
Interesting, if you note, the price of power is crept back up. I mean, part of that is just it's nighttime, so it's going to drop quickly. But you see PB is making 600 some a second off of power. That's significant. Those solar panels sticking around have definitely paid off. Another EMP on PB Head. They're starting to add up. Let's see how close. Okay, 7's got it. He's got the potential red button on Red Sparrow. Does he know it? He doesn't know it yet. He's just sitting on enough resources where he could buy it. PB Head is getting close, 85. They're basically both in a race for Red Sparrow. If they choose to go that way, there's some people who think in the destroy buyout mode you should go. All right.
Look at all the money.
What happened there? Okay, so 7 did buy Red Sparrow. He got the first buy down, which is very interesting. I mean, again, the tough part is PB Head's got the money. He's got half of 7. And look, their stock price is basically the same. Why is their stock price so close? Is it because PB Head has just that much cash?
Offworld shipment launched. Look at all the money.
I mean, basically, the reason PB Head's stock price is so high is because PB Head owns half of 7. So basically, everything that 7 does to increase his own stock price increases PB Head's. Having half your stock owned like that is just, it's terrible. So, I mean, 7 got that second Offworld up, but allowing someone to own half of your stock, I mean, it's kind of a death sentence. Yeah, see, Aja notes that the Pleasure Dome is going to make a difference. I agree. I think at the end of the game, I mean, 280 bucks a second. I mean, that's gonna be a lot of money by the end of the game. I wonder why it went down. Does someone else have a hidden Pleasure Dome? Not sure what happened there. So I remember it was in the 500s, I thought, and obviously PBN still has virtual reality.
Offworld shipment launched.
So PBN now must suspect that 7 has a lot of off-world markets. And he's got a third one on the way up. Again, also hologram. This one is fairly obvious. Just sort of sticking out there. He did get a lot of new claims. He chose to keep all of his claims together on this colony. I guess maybe he thinks that, well, I don't know, Power Surge is only 10,000. That would have maybe spread them out a little bit better. Also, carbon was 177. I guess that's another thing that's powering Asimov 7 through, is that, you know, that he's making a lot off of carbon. I'm surprised he didn't use some of those new claims to claim some of the other carbon on the map, because that's a ton of money. But he's still got 3 claims left. He should use those claims. You know, grab those 2 carbon tiles over here. Yep, now he's starting. I mean, I think 7 got by for a lot of the game without getting hit by EMPs and power surges a lot, but it's, you know, it's starting to happen. You know, his off-road market is frozen just kind of by accident. Well, he's dropping us 4th off-road market. I guess he's figuring that if he's going to go big, he's got to. This is the only way to do it. I don't know if this is going to work out for him.
Report a dirty rat trying to break our stuff.
Look at all the money.
Okay, Bradbury hit one of the goon squads and one of his holograms. He's successfully figured out that engineering lab is not really an engineering lab, which, you know, fair enough. So right now he's at 86%. I mean,
we're not surprised.
And Asimov isn't even at 50% yet. The problem is he's just that stock advantage is just too big. He's going to be making a ton off of the off-worlds, but it's just not going to be enough. Because PB has a target to get to. What does he need? He needs 600,000. He's 50,000 away. You know, Asimov or 7 is just, you know, he hasn't hit that point where he's building up cash yet. So PB Head will be able to buy him out fairly soon. The question, so the last question then is, what does Tozar have? So Tozar is sitting on 170,000. He's making pretty good money off the steel. Has he just been shorting steel this whole time? I feel like it. The price of steel seems to be pretty high. Trevor is almost about to be able to buy out 7. Although it's funny, with just that one off-road market, I mean, PBN is somewhat vulnerable, and I really think it was a little lazy of him not to even bother to hide it. I feel like he could have got a few launches off just by, you know, I know that there are players who like watch like a hawk, but in a 4-player game, I think you can definitely get away with hiding your off-road market pretty effectively. Oof! Look at those chem labs. They're making a killing. That carbon scrubbing, I cannot even express how much money PB has made off of carbon scrubbing. Because look at this. Carbon costs more than chemicals, but it doesn't matter to PB Head because he's got carbon scrubbing. Okay, and he dropped the buy down on 7. So, so now it's just a question of did Tozar have enough money stockpiled? He did not. He basically spent his money on dropping down a couple off-worlds. How much did he need to buy PB Head? He needed 1.4 million. So yeah, I mean, it's probably the right call to drop down the off-worlds, but it's going to be kind of a little too late. Especially with PB Head being able to drop down those carbon quarries. I mean, each of these carbon quarries is making 500 a second, so he's going to be there very, very soon. He just needs to get to 300,000. He probably knows he doesn't need to drop down another off-world. Because he's making so much off of both the chemicals and the carbon.
Look at all the money.
The carbon quarries. Although it looks like the days of chemicals are over. Well, they're still making 203 a second. Good power surge on... very, very good power surge on Tozar. Knocks out one of his off-road markets. Should be enough. PBS is just basically building up the cash right now. How much for Goon Squads are 70,000, so it's now basically too expensive to protect your Goon Squad, to protect your off-road market, but you also can't spend $70,000 for $20,000 for a Power Surge is quite affordable, however, so they should both be buying that Power Surge, hitting the other person's off-road market. Okay, PB Head got hit by a Power Surge, but Tozar instead chose to hit the Chem Labs, which I guess is reasonable. They're making a lot of money, but at the same time, maybe he was afraid of... Oh, and there you go. PB Head gets the money, and he gets the buy on Tozar. So PB Head wins the first game. And as a reminder, the way the rules work, this is sort of a best of 5. 5 is the maximum number of games to be played among 4 players, because we will keep playing until one player has 2 victories. So here's where the Masquerade format really comes into play, because obviously now, if they weren't already gunning for PB, they're definitely going to be gunning for PB now. Because he's got his first victory, he just needs one more victory, and then he will be on to the finals. So, you know, people are going to be watching for someone who might be PB. We know that PB likes to play as robotic. So, do you think PB would try to be good? Do you think PB would go robotic again? That's a good question. So Trofast Gaming asks what happens to 7's 3 Offworld. So they were playing with Destroy Buyout on, which means that when you buy someone out, basically all their buildings are destroyed, and you get this. Instead, you get a bunch of claims, new claims, and you also get exclusive rights to claim the old person, the person you bought out's territory for a certain period of time. So interesting. I'm trying to evaluate the Destroy Buyout. I mean, in Destroy Buyout, it certainly... It's funny, because it definitely kept PB from running... In that game, it kept PB from running away with it once he bought 7. But of course, at that point, it kind of didn't really matter. It would be pretty hard to PB had to lose that game under any circumstances after buying 7. The question is, when 7 bought Red Sparrow, would he have been better off in a situation where he had been able to keep Red Sparrow's buildings? I mean, it's somewhat unusual. Like, it's hard to... What you want with Destroy Buyout is just a sense that the first player doesn't steamroll with the buy, and I guess obviously that didn't happen this game. So, I'd say this game was a reasonable situation for Destroy Buyout, but oh, thank you. But anyway, that's part of the reason we're putting in this tournament was so we can see some competitive games with Destroy Buyout on, so we get a true sense of how it works. All right, we just need everyone to ready up. Everyone ready. Okay, just waiting for PB Head, I guess. Alright, here we are. We're getting ready to start the, hopefully I have all the right boxes checked. I did reveal map, and, stuck waiting. Hopefully we still have Red Sparrow. Looks like we may have lost him. So... not sure what to do. This hasn't happened to me very... Oh, alright. We'll have to see if Red Sparrow came through, or if he's going to be shown as AI. I hear people talking, but I don't actually see anything. Didn't get through. All right, we're just gonna have to. We're gonna have to restart this one, obviously. Well, I can't even get a menu up. I'm at Alt F4. All right, I'll see you guys in a second. I'm not sure what happened there. Alright, majority buyout, destroy buyout, reveal map, AMS grade 1, medium sized map. Okay, we got PB Head, we got Red Sparrow. Yeah. See the map. Well, those. I never saw the map. I saw it through the mask? That's weird. Maybe the host migrated to you, or I gotta remember right. An observer. So we're just missing Tozar. Okay. So notification, Tozar is now playing Offworld. Okay. I will launch as soon as everyone's ready. Okay. Good luck, everyone. Alright. That one went much better. Well, oh, wow. That is a fascinating location over here. I have a hard time processing these locations because they just got so much of everything. I guess you could throw down as scientific. Amazing, amazing, like historic scientific location here. I haven't even looked at the rest of the map, but that is, I would found right now. I would found right now as scientific, especially the rest of the map looks not awesome. And Red Sparrow does. I hope he did a great, I mean, what can you say? Great spot. We'll see if he can pull, we can see if he can pull it off. He'll want to upgrade as fast as he can so no one else can steal some of these resources from him. I think it's fine to go. I don't know how many water he smashed. I would have liked him maybe to have found it a little bit more to the east. As scientific, you don't want to take away any waters from the map. But I guess if you look under here, there's still water here. I mean, this spot is amazing for scientific. So good. So good. I mean, he's not going to have to be shipping anything, so he doesn't have, or at least not very much. I guess he might need to grab aluminum, obviously. Yeah, I guess this other thing, Red Sparrow is a bit of a target, also. The question now is, do people think that that's PB Head or not? PB Head's also other favorite. Generally speaking, PB Head goes Robo or Scavenger. And so it's no surprise that PB Head just went ahead and dropped down in that crater. Has a reasonable amount of room, but not a ton of room. And interesting, went for that high silicon. That's very interesting, especially since there's two high silicons down here. I don't know why PB Head would bother with a high silicon at that level, especially since I don't see him building glass anytime soon. Well, we'll have to see how this one goes. Okay, meanwhile, Tozar went robotic again, down here in the bottom right, without a good source of iron that I can see. In fact, is he even shipping in iron? He doesn't even have iron yet. This could be a rough game for Tozar. I think that's the thing about this map. There weren't a lot of great other locations, so that not only was this, as I said, a historic scientific location, but there wasn't necessarily a lot of good alternatives. And he's got that high water. That's fantastic. And there's so much silicon here. Even someone can't even really gank it from him. Really, the thing that's going to stop Red Sparrow is if everyone else keeps banging away at him. But it's, he's scientific, so he's protected some from power surges. The circuit overload could hurt him a little bit, I guess. Network Virus is protected from that too because he's scientific. Why did he go for that low aluminum? Or all the other... There's a high... Okay, that's a weird move. He grabbed a low aluminum that's nearby. Maybe he's anticipating that later he'll use it for electronics, but I mean, there's a high aluminum not much farther away, and is that the only other available high aluminum on the map? 7 got another one. There's quite a few. I don't understand that move at all. Why did he grab that high aluminum? Well, made a great move with the found, but I'm not sure about the the low aluminum. That's a strange move. Anyway, but still, he's got this amazing location. Oh, someone's going to grab that high iron mine from... Is that Tozar? Tozar got his high iron right from the doorstep of Red Sparrow, who should be at level 3 pretty soon. Could have upgraded to level 3. Could have taken that claim away from Tozar if he wanted to. So now he's sitting on 3 claims. Almost everyone's level 3 now, except for Tozar. I would expect to see Red Sparrow go into glass very soon. He didn't really need that high iron, but it's just kind of annoying, you know. He should definitely grab this other water. Make sure he locks down that triangle. I hate that he didn't grab the high aluminum. It's like threw away a claim. When you're scientific, you don't want to throw away claims. I gotta change the name of this to the tournament. 4-player free-for-all tournament. Alright, now we have the right title. Alright, in the meantime, we got a auction up, we got a plot. Oh, a plot right in Red Sparrow's backyard. Again, not really a tile that he needs, but it, you know, every little tile that's close to your headquarters is pretty nice. Does Red Sparrow not have auto supply turned on? No, he does have it turned, and his glass factories are now working. He switched over to farms, which I guess is reasonable. He's got to get some power down, though. He's already $100,000 of debt. There's really no excuse for that, considering what a great position he's in. Oh man, someone is pirating the iron that poor Tozar is shipping from all the way across the map. Cruel, cruel move. Would PBhead have done that as scavenger? I mean, he doesn't need the iron, but it's $40, you know. But there's no reason to pick on Tozar. So who got... PBhead got that claim tile. Is he going to grab the other one here? Put up 2 wins next to each other in Red Sparrow's backyard? I mean, there's just so many resources here. It's hard to, you know... I don't even know what to do with all of them. Alright. PBhead's at level 4. Red Sparrow's still at level 3. So... You know, got some problems here. Gotta get some power up. I mean, this is crazy at this point. And PBhead has identified that. He's got 2 wind powers up. He's got 3 solar panels up. And of course, the thing is, Red Sparrow did start with what, $60-some thousand in debt. So you got to build some power when that happens. Is it the price is prohibitive? I mean, I guess silicon is $40, so solar panels are expensive. But Red Sparrow's got to figure out some way to get power up. Okay, he's putting up 2 wind turbines on very strong tiles. Wow, look at that. PBhead's making 1,000 a second off of power. Yeah, you gotta make... Oh, nice move. Somebody named PBhead, I'm guessing, hit Red Sparrow with a power surge. I gotta find out. That's a great move right there. Alright, black market. I don't have the names. Who's PBhead? PBhead is Asimov. Who's bought the power surges? Asimov has bought 2. Bradbury's bought 1. Well, Herbert's brought 1. Then I gotta... Alright, it's too confusing. Oh, exit game. I'll just settle it down here. Yeah, considering that, well, Tozar is making a decent amount of money off of power too. It could be it could have been Tozar. It's possible. All right, Red Sparrow has upgraded. What did he do? So oh man, so Red Sparrow upgraded and dropped. Did he drop all 3 of his claims on the wind power? I guess it's possible. All right, what's the financial instruments? Well, Red Sparrow is, you can't really see it is in D debt right now. So, yikes. And wow, nice move. Tozar's already bought up half. Tozar only needs one more for the buyout. Tozar's got the buyout. Wow, awesome move by Tozar. And now all of that great territory is Tozar's for the taking. He can't use it for, he can't put scientific buildings on that. But, I mean, geez, look at that. You got a high silicon. You got a bunch of great iron. Now he won't. And, of course, his metal mine, turn it back on. The metal mine that he claimed is now adjacent to one of his headquarters. Wow. Great move. Be interesting to see what happens here, though. I mean, Tozar is not in a commanding position, but the game is early enough that there is enough time that Tozar plays his cards right. He should be able to. He should be able to win this game if he does play well. He's kind of got a hodgepodge of buildings here. Got some steel mills. That's not a great move. Steel mills are not really making a lot of money. I mean, it's fine that he went for the silicon. He should have grabbed the water. You still got, okay, great. Grab one of the water. Grab the other medium water while you can. And I mean, he should be dropping down. I mean, food, I guess, maybe not really. What should he be getting into? Problem is that steel. He should have probably just gotten into. It should put a metal mine next to his other one. First of all, turn on your metal mine. What are you doing? I guess he. How did it get turned off in the first place? That is so weird. Turn on your metal mine. I want to put it in chat, but that would be not very nice at all. What's going on? Okay. In the meantime, PB Head, you know, he's still playing his own game. He's got his head down. He's at level 5. There's all these stock shenanigans, but he's probably trying to get an Offworld up as quickly as possible so he can start buying up shares of Tozar. Because this game is far from over. Tozar doesn't seem to be executing particularly well with the buyout. I love that he got that early buyout. That was beautiful, but not really doing it. Okay, finally the metal mine's back on. Hopefully we got it. Okay, he's going for glass furnace triangle. I guess, I mean, it's reasonable. But the price of iron is so good that I would love to be seeing the use of that, that metal mine for that medium iron. There should be a metal mine because that would also boost the steel mills. I mean, the glass furnaces just aren't making that much money. He doesn't even need glass. He's robotic. Yeah, I don't know about this. It's funny. I guess will 2 different players get a chance to squander away this amazing location? You know, it's possible. He's got to figure out a way to make money. So what's really making money here is his water. He's making 87 a second from his high water. If he is, you know, as a robotic, what he should have done is drop down some, you know, farms or reactors around this high water. Okay, he just upgraded. Tozar just upgraded, and instead he chose to drop down some electronics factories, which, you know, are not bad. But again, like, look at both the reactors and the farms are much better, and would have gotten the adjacency bonus from that water. Yeah, I don't know. PBM meanwhile, again, is just chugging away. He's got his hologram up. It's going to look like a chem lab. We'll see if Tozar is able to identify that. He, what does it look like to Tozar? What does that look like to Tozar? Well, it just looks like an invisible spot. Soon it'll look like a fake chem lab. What's with PB's water situation? Well, he's making a lot of water. Why did he go for? Yeah, why did he go for the 3rd water pump? That's interesting. Is water super expensive off-world? 284? Not particularly. I mean, I guess he knows he's going to be making a lot of stuff, but yeah, that's fine. Yeah, he's doing fine. He's got three water pumps supplying 6 farms or reactors. That seems perfectly reasonable. More steel mills from Tozar. What is going on? Steel is just not. It's just not a moneymaker right now. He's got all this great water next to this colony over here. He's not using it for either reactors or food, which is where the big money is right now. or even chems. I don't know. I mean, look at that. Silicon. I mean, I get electronics. Silicon, carbon, aluminum, they're all sub $10 for sure. But at the same time, why did he put those electronics factories down there? Why didn't he put them next to the silicon up here? Could have gotten the adjacency bonus for them. In the meantime, lots of good cheap stuff on the black market that's barely been. It feels like it's hardly been used this game. What's up for claim here? Auction. No, just a claim. And just 24,000 for Clark. Haven't paid much attention to 7 most of this game. He's just been kind of chugging along. He's got the patent lab. He's got financial instruments. Got teleportation. Tozar is actually out of debt. It looks like Tozar doesn't like debt very much, so financial instruments may not really pay out that much. He's going for carbon scrubbing, which, you know, carbon's not really worth that much right now. You know, 7 is just sort of bumping along with the reason. Although, wow, he's got some serious electronics production down here. Does have the adjacency bonus on the aluminum, so I like that very much. They're all making $100 a second. Got a 6-1 here. Asking for a power surge, and there it is. I was literally about to start saying that sentence, and then the power surge happened. So sorry, 7. That's rough going. Should have put a goon squad there, probably on your aluminum mine. But you know, goon squads are 70,000, 20,000, so that's tough. Look at PBA. It looks like he has 2 engineering labs. It's not totally believable. So the question is, which one? Interesting enough that he switched to 2 engineering labs because he knew that putting an engineering lab here would make this no longer look like a chem lab. So that's kind of weird. Does he really need 2 engineering labs? What's he researching? Yeah, food and oxygen. I mean, as long as Tozar doesn't go heavy into food and reactors, which he is not doing. I don't know why he's not doing it. PB Head might as well drop down those engineering labs and like boost that production, because he's going to make a killing on that stuff, whether or not it's on world or off world. And the prices off world are great. Look at that. Oxygen is at 58. PB Head is just going to start making serious bank from all of this stuff, especially once his engineering labs start, you know, going from, you know, improved to efficient to optimal to super. PBI gets the buy on 7. Wow, I didn't even. Was that a shift buy? I didn't even hardly notice that PBI had owned stock in 7, but maybe I was just zoning out there. What is PBI dropping down? He's dropping down steel mills, which is questionable decision. Solar panels, which is fine, no problem with that. And some chem labs, which that's perfectly fine. Chems are a lot of money. I just don't know why he went for the. I mean, the metal mine, the iron mine. I guess he's just counting on the fact that eventually steel is going to pay off in the long run. But you know, whatever. And he's just stockpiling black markets, basically just in case he needs them. If he senses he's in a good spot, but you know, stock-wise, they're neck and neck. The main issue is that Tozar does not have an off-world market at this point. Adrenaline boost on the black. Wow, this should go for a lot. It should easily go into the 30s, because you know you can use it for an off-world market. 40s, I think this is getting to the limit. 48. Tozar goes to 48. That may be a bit too far. Especially since he doesn't actually have an off-world market. Or does he? What is that? Alright, Tozar does have an off-world market up. Snuck it in there, and it's going to look like it must be under construction right now, right? Or it got blown up. That's certainly possible. PB had probably used the network virus, maybe to clear the goon squad, and then blew it up, or just used the network virus to determine there was no goon squad, and then blew it up with the dynamite, would be my guess. So anyway, it's under construction. It'll be back up shortly. So they both have an off-world market. So now the difference is those engineering labs, because PB Head probably now is at level 2 for both food and oxygen. That makes a huge difference. Has Tozar finally gone into food, or okay, he's got 2 farms down, but you know, he chose to delete his water. I mean, I guess it's good that this is still solar panels, but he should get rid of these steel mills. The steel mills are actually losing money for him. That's where those farms should have gone. And PBS making the run on Tozar. He's got 3 shares of stock. you know, he's making money very, very well with all of that food, oxygen, and fuel. You know, which Tozar is not chosen to compete with him in. And if you don't compete with your opponent in all of the life support resources, like they're going to win sooner. They're going to win sooner or later. I mean, that colony is going to keep growing. It's going to keep consuming that food and oxygen. Going to keep that price high. And PB's almost there. He just needs one more share to close it out on Tozar. Basically, I assume that means one more shipment. Let's check out his off-road market. He's 20 seconds away from $54,000, which would give him enough money to buy out Tozar. Tozar, in the meantime, needs to somehow figure out a way to buy 3 shares of stock. He also has a launch that's not, well, let's see. The UI is playing tricks on me. He also has a launch that's 12 seconds away, but PBhead got there, got the launch off, and PBhead wins the first ever match in the 4-player free-for-all tournament. The first match. So he will be one of the 4 players competing in the finals, which should be taking some time next week. All right, good game, everyone. That was a pretty interesting game, especially with the early buy by Tozar. Trying to think through what I think about the destroy buyout in that situation. Certainly would have definitely made things very different for Tozar if he'd been able to keep those scientific buildings. Wow, that would have been pretty sweet, actually, if he'd been able to keep the scientific buildings next to his original buy. The funny thing about this situation is in both games, PBhead did not go for the first buy, although I don't think that was necessarily intentional. Maybe we should hear from PBhead whether he was waiting to do the buy later or not. But certainly the destroy buyout may have slowed down the speed of the player who did the first buyout, which means it is doing its job. The question, basically, for the community is it doing its job too effectively? You know, are people afraid to do the first buyout? So that's what we're going to see further on in the tournament. In this game, I think that if PBhead had been able to buy out, was it Red Sparrow? It would have been able to buy out Red Sparrow early enough, he would have. But you know, at any rate, that's tough to say. All right, they say there's a lobby available for post-game chat, so let me jump into that. Post-tourney lobby just for chat. All right, we got 7. We got Tozar. I mean, major mistakes there. I mean, Tozar should have contested at least one of those life support resources, in my opinion, and did not necessarily make great use of the claims available after the buyout. Shouldn't have gone into steel. Should have gone into that water earlier. Tough loss, Tozar. Loved your quick buy. I mean, I guess that's the thing. That scientific spot was amazing, but taking the $60,000 in debt early on in the game, it did make a difference. Obviously, that was definitely something that pushed the stock price super low, which allowed someone to get the quick buy. And it's kind of nice that that didn't turn out to be the key to victory necessarily. Hi. PBhead was wondering if you were avoiding doing a first buy in either game. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah. Well, I might have the replay. Yes, I have it. Yes, I have it. Made a copy. Remind me to send it to you. Thought PB. Thoughts about buying first. Were you avoiding it, or it just worked out that way? But to be fair. Yeah. Well, anyway, it sounds like PB wasn't particularly. Sounds like PB wasn't specifically trying to avoid being the first person to a buyout, but it's interesting that he was able to pull off a victory afterwards. Yeah, especially with owning half the stock. I mean, that's the thing. Once PB owned half the stock, he was kind of like could feel reasonably comfortable letting Seven do whatever he wanted to. Okay, all right. I'm gonna have to head off, guys. There you go. Thanks for playing. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow at 10 a.m. DT. That should be a great game. I'm trying to remember who it is. It's going to be. Game Slayer, I think. The game tomorrow is at 10 a.m. and it's going to be between Game Slayer, Blues, Zuzani / Death Tacticus, and InSync. So those are all. I think those are all top 10 players. It depends on how much all of them play 1v1, but those are all legit players. So that should be an awesome game. So. All right, see you guys later.